The problem is between you and I. The problem is between you and me. Many a times you've wondered which of these two statements is correct. If you're that very person that has this as a problem, this very video that I'm about to make has the answer. And for you to understand this, we're going to unravel or review, because I've had a video on this. We're going to review the subject and object pronouns. By so doing, you will be the one to figure out the answer by the end of this class. So, come with me. Let me clear that very confusion and help you crack that hard nut. To answer this question, the matter is between you and me, the problem is between you and I. We're going to look at subject and object pronoun. Remember, pronoun is the equivalent of noun. So when someone asks you, what is noun equivalent? You say pronoun. So I'm going to use a lot of nouns and I'll use their equivalent, which is the pronouns. By so doing, you understand the lesson. Subject noun, I becomes me, he becomes him, she becomes her, they becomes them, and we becomes us, and you becomes you, it becomes it. Only these two can be used as objects and subjects. No variance. Okay, now let's go straight to the lesson. Jane stole from Mary. Jane is the subject. Now, what is subject? Subject is the doer of the action in a sentence, the actor, the person talked about, the person that did the action, or the thing that did the action is known as the subject. And the receiver of that very action done by the subject is called object. The receiver of the action could be two. It could be two objects. And when there are two, you say we have direct object and indirect object. But in this very case, we have just one object and one subject. Let's understand it at this level. Okay. Jane stole from Mary. Now you've understood that every person under the subject here are the actors. And these actors are usually found at the beginning of the sentence, while the objects, the receivers, are usually found at the end of the sentence. So let's do this together. If Jane is a female, a noun, a female, what kind of subject, noun equivalent can we use? Remember, this is the actor. Who did the stealing? Jane. What can we use to replace Jane? We say she. The same stole remains from. Mary becomes her as an object because the object of she is her. Did you get that? All right. Let's go to number 2. John went with James. Think about it. John is male, and the equivalent to John as a pronoun is he. As the actor, the person that went with someone. And now to replace it, we say he. And the person he went with is also a male, a masculine gender. But now at the object position. So we are not going to say he went with he. No, we say he went with him. Object, the receiver of the action, went with him. Permit me to do this. All right. Lucy and I'm going to say something here. Why is it that we don't say I and Lucy? We don't say I and Lucy because courtesy demands that you mention others first before mentioning yourself. That's why we always mention others before saying I. And why didn't I say Lucy and me? I can't say Lucy and me because these are the actors. When you say Lucy and me, you're wrong because me is supposed to take the object position. Since they are the actors, we say Lucy and I. All right. Another thing you need to know about I is that whenever you have people and you have the pronoun I, you don't say they, rather you say we, because you are the one involved. When you are involved with other persons, you say we. So Lucy and I went to the market. We say we because I am involved. Okay, we went to the market. Correct. Now let's go to number four. Let's go to number four. The dog ate the bone. When we look at the dog is a neuter gender. When you have neuter gender, I mean things that are not human, like trees, pots, gadgets, mangoes. Those things are not human. So we have the neuter gender, it, for it. So when it's a singular, we say it. So we say it ate the bone. Singular again. So we say it ate it. Correct. Now let's go to the dogs. The dogs ate the bones. In this very case, you see that the dogs are more than one. So when you have an expression like this, you don't say it again. No, you say they. They ate the bones. Now the bones can be replaced with them. So we have they ate them. Are you following? All right, that's the rule. No more it because it is more than one bone. So we say they ate them. Correct. The dogs ate the bones. They replaces the dogs. More than one. But when it is one dog, we say it. Is that understood? All right. And when the bone is one, we say it. But when the bone is more than one, we say them. You get it right? All right. Lucy and Fan are friends with Mark and Michael. What pronoun can be used to replace Lucy and Fan? In this case, you are not involved. When you are not involved, you are supposed to use they. But when you are involved, you say we. All right. So they, permit me to do this, are friends with Mark and Michael. Them. They are friends with Mike and Michael. They are friends with them. Correct. And the last but not the least, the award was given to Josephine and me. The award, to replace the award, it was one. We say it, neuter gender. Don't forget. But if there were to be more than one awards, if there were to be awards, we would have said they. Is that understood? Okay. Now let's go ahead. The award was given to Josephine and me. Josephine and me. I'm going to say something about me here. Why didn't I say me and Josephine? It's still the same reason why I didn't say I and Lucy, but I said Lucy and I. Courtesy demands that you mention others first. You prefer others before you mention yourself. Is that understood? Okay, so you mention others first before considering yourself. Others first. That's courtesy, and that is the rule in English language. Okay, let's do it. Josephine and me. I didn't say Josephine and I because in this case, this is an object case, not the doer, not the subject. So we have it was given to. So when you look at this, you will see that object pronouns have their positions, while subject pronouns have their positions. So you don't use them interchangeably. That will be grammatical blunder. I hope you've understood this. Now we are going to answer that very question. The problem is between you and me. The problem is between you and I. I'm going to leave this here in case you need to make reference to it. Okay. Now, to clear your doubt, we are going to look at prepositions: from, to, for, with, between. Whenever you have any of these words, we call them the object of the preposition. Just know that what follows must be the object pronouns. Once you have this preposition, whether to, for, from, for, between, with, that means you're looking for an object pronoun. Does that make sense? All right. Now I'm going to put up your worries. All right. Let's use an elimination process to answer your question and solve your problem. The problem is between you and I. The problem is between you and me. Which one is correct? Think about it. Don't forget this rule: the subject pronoun and the object pronoun. Of course, you know that the problem already is it. If we are to replace it, it's going to take it as a subject pronoun. And now we say it's between you and I. Do you think that one is correct? No, it is wrong. And now we have the problem, it. This is the subject. So whatever must come over here must be the object. And remember, you remains you at the object and subject position. So that is why the answer is you and me. So are you still in doubt? Each time you want to say between, look up here. Whenever you have these prepositions, that those small words that tells us the position of something, yeah, or the relationship between two nouns. All right, when you have prepositions like this, always bear in mind that the very pronoun you will use after this is the object pronoun, and that is what we call object of the preposition. So we can have things like he gave it to me, he took it from me, it is between him and me, it is with me, it is for me. That is what we call the object of the preposition. For me, with me, between you and me, because between is always two persons involved. Okay, from me to me, and all that and all that. So never you be confused again. Let's do a little exercise to prove how far we've grabbed the lesson. All right, we're going to correct the structures using the knowledge gained from the lesson on the subject and object pronoun. No more confusion when it comes to I or me. Let's do this together. Number one, would you like to go with Jack or I? Let's look at it. What is wrong with the sentence? Would you? You is the subject, correct. Like to go with Jack or I is correct. But I can't be at the object position. No, it can only be the subject. Therefore, we remove the I and we say me. Would you like to go with Jack or me? Number two, the award was given to Jennifer and I. What is wrong with this? The award is the subject, so we can replace it with it. Correct. It was given, the award was given to Jennifer and I. There is a problem here. Objects. When it is at the object position, I becomes me. Subject becomes I, but the object becomes me. So it was given to me. Correct. Number three. Would Bob and me visit our grandma? Would Bob and me visit our grandma? What is wrong here? Would Bob and I? Because these are the subjects, these are the actors. Why grandma is the receiver of the action, and me can't be used here. It is supposed to be I. Would Bob and I visit our grandma? Correct. Grandma is the object that received the action. All right. Number four. The invitation was for Nancy and I. What is wrong? The invitation, it, subject, was for, don't forget the object of the preposition, for me, for you, to him, to me. Do you get that? All right. Now, the invitation was for Nancy and I. I is wrong. It was for Nancy and me. Correct. And now let's do number five. Me and my brother have issues to settle. What is wrong with the statement? Let's go to the subject. We have two subjects here, but we can't use me, no, at the subject position. It's supposed to be my brother, this way, my brother and I. That's the right thing to say. Don't forget that I told you, you mention others first before mentioning yourself. And when it is the subject, you say I. But when it is the object, you say me. Number six, the gift is for me and you. What is wrong here? The gift, it is for me and you. We can replace here the subject as it is for me and you. What is wrong? We often say this. The wrong thing here is that we did not mention others first. You are to say the gift is for you and me. Correct. Don't start with me and don't start with I at the subject position. You don't say I and my friend. No, you say my friend and I. And you don't say me and you at the object position. No, you say you and me. All right. And the last but not the least, I and my wife are grateful. I'm going to leave you with this one to give me the correct thing to say right under the comment section. I promise that I'm going to vet it. The best way to learn English is to practice. Practice, they say, makes perfect. But I always tell you that constant practice makes perfect and yields better result. Why not take out time today and give yourself 5 sentences using me and I? Stay blessed and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I remain Madame Udozo Cynthia Ifoma. Have a wonderful season